think you can record. All right, so welcome back. So yesterday we were trying to connect data from the web. Okay, so we use the NCD website. Okay, and we try to quickly build a dashboard based on the data. And this is what we have as at yesterday. So what we can do to now check if maybe the data, so assuming we have gone back to the website, right, and it has now been updated, because COVID cases, we have COVID cases everywhere. So what we are going to do, watch this part now to check if it has been updated. What we are going to do, we are going to click on to refresh. Click on refresh, then take note here whether there's any changes here. So if there's any change, you see it here automatically. Your data will change, everything will change. Otherwise, if not, it will remain the same. But take note, the moment they change the structure from that website, it will give you an error. Did it change? Did you notice that it changed?
Yes, it changed.
Yes, it changed. Okay, so that's how you keep doing it. So you build your own dashboard. You just come here, just click refresh. That's all. And every day, that's how it keeps refreshing. Okay, so that's how you can get your data from the web. Okay, that's how you're going to get data from the web.
So did you rename FCT as Federal
Yes, now I renamed. Yes, now we agreed yesterday. We showed it yesterday now.
Okay.
That FCT has to be renamed to Federal Capital Territory. That's the only way it can understand that this is Abuja.
But it was not renamed on the Power Query.
Yes, it was in the Power Query. Yes, not the original one. Every change you make in your Power Query, the original data still remains the same. Okay, that's why when we are going to be looking at next week, how do we combine folders and files and update files? You see, everything you are going to do will just be in its original form. But Power Query, everything you are doing in the Power Query, your original file will remain the same. But the moment you change the structure of your original file, it will just give you an error because it can no longer see the same structure that it's looking out for. Okay, so that's another thing we need to take note of. All right. Then again, let's see what we have. So let me send you guys another data set. So this data set will be on the, so let me go to the website. Yes. So you are going to see, or you already have your Superstore data. Do you have your Superstore data already? You have your Superstore data.
Yes.
If you have your Superstore data here, you can just use that Superstore data. Okay, but although I will add it on the canvas. So you check that Superstore data. It's still the same one, but this is like a CSV file. So this is the same one. Okay. Then again, there's another one I will add, sales data. I don't know if I have added sales data before. So what we have been working with was a flat file. Okay, we have been working with what? A flat file. So remember when we are dealing with data normalization, right? When we're dealing with data normalization. So we also showed that for data normalization, you also need to restructure it. Isn't it such that we break that big table into smaller tables? Then how do we break it into smaller tables? Yes, how do we break a flat file into smaller tables? Yes.
We reduce redundancy. We create a data thereby extracting the information we need from the primary key using the primary keys.
Using the primary, exactly. You should be able to identify them exactly. So that's what we're going to be doing today. Okay. So let me try to import the data. So if you're on the canvas now, you see two files now, superstore data and sales data. But here I will just only show you how to connect, because sometimes it can even take you time if it's not properly cleaned. Okay, so that you can see how they are linked together. Okay, so I've shared the file so you can easily go and check it out. So I can close this now, right? I can close this. Is there another thing we needed here? No. Okay, so I can close this down. Okay, so let me open my Power BI. Okay, is my screen sharing now?
No, no, sir.
It's not sharing.
Yes.
Okay. Now check that file I sent to you. Okay, like my own superstore data, because it's a CSV file. What do I do? I'll come to get data, come to what, text/CSV. Okay. So let's look at it. Where do we have it there? Superstore. So can you see superstore? Open. Superstore data. So this is the data, right? So what's the next thing to do? What is the next thing we're going to do?
They're going to clean it.
Transform it.
Yeah, transform data, right? So we're going to transform this data. Okay. Oh, this table is quite small. The one you have on your, what they call it now? I think that Excel file. I think go on the Excel file. I think that one is quite large. So maybe we'll use, let me look for it. The superstore. This one is small. Okay. Superstore. Okay, I think this is. I think this one is quite large. Keyboard. Okay, this is quite large. All right, so let me save that. Superstore. Okay, so let me import the other superstore. So superstore, so come here, get data, CSV, superstore 2, okay, that's right. So transform data, So this one, I don't need it, so I can just delete it out of there. So I don't need that, delete. So this one I need. So even if I want, I can just remove it or change the name. So let me call it superstore. All right. So let's look at this data. Can you see this data now? This is in Excel, usually called what? A flat word file. Okay. So what we are trying to do now is that we want to break this file into different words, units, or different aspects. So remember when we started, we said that we can break that every data, we can look at it into two parts, right? That data by nature, they can be quantitative data or qualitative data. Is that correct? Isn't it? So can we give example of the qualitative? Can you give example of the qualitative data?
A data that is already clean with no fault is qualitative.
Data analyst.
Okay.
What is qualitative data?
Okay, wait. Okay, I'm ready with the data. Okay, qualitative data.
Yeah, if you don't get this one, you're not getting certificate. So.
Wait. I'm mixing it up. I'm mixing it up. Let me fetch it. I'm mixing it up. Quantitative, qualitative, data. Yeah.
Yes. I show qualitative data. Yes. Qualitative data. Now, if you cannot describe it, can you give an example of a okay, give an example of a quantitative data. What is a quantitative data?
But I think one is descriptive and one is I've forgotten this analysis that allows you to explore ideas and further describe them as this. One is descriptive and one is analytic. So I'm forgetting this.
Hey. These things are fundamental. So look at. So let's go right again. You see your data, right?
Yeah.
Your data are the raw facts, isn't it? Raw facts. Or maybe let me use a whiteboard. I think a whiteboard will be better. Let me use whiteboard. Can you see the whiteboard?
Yeah.
Yes, yes.
All right. So data. So your data, they are the what? Raw what? Facts. Okay. All right. Now, data in their natural form don't make any sense. Is that not true?
Yeah.
Until we process it to make it what? Information. So when you are collecting the data, okay, the data you collect can be categorized into different parts. You have the first one, by nature. By nature of the data, it can be what? Quantitative or what? Qualitative. So when we say quantitative, it means it has numbers. If you say it's qualitative, it means it was no what? Numeric. Is that not true? Which we also can call categorical. Clear? Are you clear with this?
Yes.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
Then, so can you give an example of a quantitative data? Quantitative data. Quantitative is qualitative. So give an example of a quantitative data. Let us see. Give an example of quantitative data.
I think values of sales are
Beautiful sales, yes.
Yeah.
What again?
When let me say number of quantities sold.
Quantity, yeah. Price, is it not?
Price, yes.
Profit, yes, isn't it?
Yeah.
Good. Now, what about qualitative data? Give example.
Customer names, customer ID.
Okay, customer name, customer ID. But basically, for example, customer satisfaction.
Yeah.
So customers satisfaction. But number of customers, do you see that? It is what? Quantitative. But customer satisfaction, they will say very satisfied. This is not satisfied. Yes. Average, not satisfied, very dissatisfied. So at the end of the day, you now categorize them into this is very satisfied, is it not? So we can give this one 5, 4, 3. So this is 5, 4, 3, 2, or 1. Do you see that?
Yes.
This is what they refer to as what? A categorical word variable. Do you get that one? So for example, you can talk about size. You can group them into what? Size. Large, is it not? Medium, small. But at the end of the day, you can also do the count of it, which now becomes what? Quantitative. Exactly. Are you clear with this?
Yes, sir.
Yes.
All right. The next aspect is that, because why is important is that whenever you want to analyze your data, you first of all need to understand the data, isn't it? And now know, okay, I always analyze my qualitative by quantitative. That is why I can, when I'm dragging, I will drag category by sales. Do you understand that? Category by what? Sales. Or I drag category by what? Profits. Or I can drag region. Do you see it? So it is categorical variable by the what? Quantitative. So it's qualitative, or we can say qualitative by quantitative. Okay. Now we can also look at it in terms of the time of the data. You are collecting data. You can collect it over a period of time or at a point in time. Data over a period of time is called what?
It should be time series.
It's called what? A time series data. And when we talk about a time series data, we can talk about what the frequency. So when we talk about the frequency of the data, what do we mean?
The number of occurrence.
Yes, such as the frequency of the data in which it occurs. It can be annual, is it not? It can be an annual data. Yes, what again?
And be daily, weekly, monthly.
Yes, it can be what? Quarterly data. Quarterly data. It can be monthly data, isn't it? It can be weekly. It can be daily. All these are what? Time series in terms of the frequency. Now, data at a point in time is called what? This is over time. It's called time series. This is at a point.
Instantaneous data.
Hey.
Composite.
It's called what?
Composite is for comparing to
data collected at a point in time is called what? It's called what?
Primary.
Yeah?
I've actually forgotten this.
It's called a cross-sectional data.
Cross-sectional. Same composite.
Cross-sectional what? Data. So that is why whenever you are giving questionnaire, is a survey, is it not? So they call it cross-sectional survey. They are collected at a point in time across. You see that?
Yeah.
Because your understanding of this kind of data will also determine the kind of visuals you are going to use. I think we have mentioned this before.
Yes.
Then we can also talk about the source of the data. The source of the data. Under source of the data, what are we talking about? Yes, it can be what? Primary data.
Primary or secondary.
Or secondary data.
Secondary data.
Primary data is the one that you use what? Questionnaires, isn't it?
Yeah.
To collect. You know, for example, you can use a survey monkey or a Google form. They will fill it online, is it not? Then you now bring it into your Power BI and start visualizing. Or you can talk about what secondary what data. You can go to stock price data. You can go to financial reports, get their financial reports. Those are what secondary what data. So are you clear with this now?
Yes.
Clear?
Yes.
Yeah.
All right. Please, if I ask you people again and you miss this thing, hey, there's no certificate for you. You just be like, you cannot carry our name and say you are saying another thing. Please. Yeah. Okay. All right. I think I can close this now, right?
Yes.
All right. So let's go back to our data. All right. So whenever you are looking at your data, you can look at it in two ways. You have the qualitative and quantitative. So can you identify the qualitative data for me? Qualitative data.
Okay.
Qualitative
Maybe you
data.
have to. Okay.
You have ship mode.
Order ID is one of it.
Yeah. Yes, beautiful.
Ship mode is one of it.
Ship mode is one of it. Yes, thank you.
Customer name.
Customer name, okay, yes.
Segment.
Segment.
the country,
So anyone that has ABC means that what?
qualitative.
Qualitative. Now, but take note. If you look at postal code, is postal code a qualitative or quantitative?
Postal code
Postal code should
is
be
quantitative.
Quantitative or qualitative?
should be quantitative because it's
quantitative.
numerable.
All right, now let me ask you, your phone number, is it quantitative or qualitative?
It's numerical, so it's quantitative.
Is what?
It's numerical, so I can say it's quantitative.
Okay, your account number, is it qualitative or quantitative?
My account number 2, I can say is quantitative.
All right,
That
thank you.
Mm.
No, that's okay. That's what I wanted to hear.
Mm.
Please take note. Whenever you say something is quantitative, you know the meaning. It means that I
Numerical.
can apply my arithmetic operations.
Yes.
Does it make sense for you to add two phone numbers together?
No.
Wow.
Or you add two account numbers together? Does it make any sense?
No.
Beautiful. So the moment you cannot apply any mathematical operations or arithmetic operations on them, then you can say they are what? Qualitative.
Qualitative.
Even though they are numbers, but those numbers are just like your names.
Okay.
Just to distinguish them.
Okay.
Are you clear with that now?
Yes.
That is why whenever you see your data, try to identify whether it has the correct data type. Because if I take this one as postal code, you know, if I drag it to PowerBI, it's going to add all of them together and give you some, give the average, give the Would that one make any sense? Will it make any sense?
No,
Exactly.
no, it doesn't.
So there are some things I will be explaining, they are fundamental.
Yes.
But if you don't understand them, what you are just seeing result, but you don't understand the implication of what you are seeing.
Mm.
Because again, when you get to things like that, if this thing is a qualitative data and you go and treat it as a quantitative data and you apply it on it, that's your formula we apply on it like normal number. But meanwhile, the result does not make any sense.
Hmm.
Are you clear with that?
Yes.
So it is your understanding of the data that will help you know how you are going to analyze it and the insight you want to get from it.
Yeah.
Clear?
Yes.
All right. So let's continue. So postal code, qualitative or quantitative?
Can now say is qualitative.
Let's call it. Thank you very much.
Okay, sir.
Yes.
Now, if we see this and we decide to assign code to it, if we see like postal code now, it is numerical.
Mm-hmm.
And if we decide to assign code to it, to change it to a text, would it be nice?
You know one thing, that is written in numbers doesn't make it numerical.
Okay.
Do you get? So we can still switch it as what?
As text.
Text. Do you get? You can still switch it as text.
Okay.
Do you understand? You can still switch it as what? Text.
Okay.
Even when you have, let's say, product ID or something, product ID. Can you see all these ones? Even they have numbers, but they are still what? Text.
Mm.
Okay. Any other thing? Now, this row ID, do we still need it? Do we need this row ID?
No, we may not need it if we have something to identify it.
For now, we don't need it, isn't it? But you know, most times, why? You know why? You know the role of this column here, this row ID. For example, if you are in Excel, you know sometimes when you sort your data, you know that you cannot go back to the original.
Yes.
Even if you undo it, you know that.
Yes.
But whenever you set this column here as the maybe serial number, it will help you to rearrange it back to the initial state it was. That is the function of this column here.
Mm.
You understand that?
Yes.
But for now, we don't need it. So let's drop it. Okay, we don't need it for now. So let's go through this data and understand it. Okay. So remember that we want to group them into two parts. And as analysts, we say when we are breaking, so that thing we are calling qualitative and quantitative, is it not? Qualitative and quantitative. Now, what we call as the data scientists or data analysts, we call it what? Fact table
And
what?
Dimension table.
Dimension table. Beautiful. Our dimension table. So dimension table, or they call it what? Lookup table. Your lookup table.
A minute,
Is this one? Yes.
No, I'm not asking a question, sir. I just want to take an excuse.
Okay, that's fine. That's fine. Okay, so let's look at this now. You have dimension table and what? Your fact was table. So can you tell me which one is a dimension table here? Which is dimension table and which is fact table? Which one is dimension table and which one is fact table?
There are differences all the tables here.
No, from here now, tell me which ones are the dimension tables and which one are fact tables. Can you identify them?
I think fact table holds most information from where the.
Yes, you know when you are building your relationship, isn't it? Yeah. When you are building your relationship, the cardinality, which relationship do you want to see? What type of relationship do you want to see?
Well, one to many, many to
one to many. Which one is the one? Which one is the many?
I think the fact table should be the many to one. Many.
Beautiful. So this is the many, and this is what the one. That is why you are going to see something when you drag it. You are going to see one star.
Yes.
Which means one to many.
Many.
Then which direction? Can you see that? It can go either ways. Which direction? So it can go from here to here or from here to here.
Yes.
So you can go both ways or you can make it only one way. Okay? We are clear with this, isn't it?
Yes.
Now, but for us to now know which is a lookup table, which is a fact table, or a dimension table, we now need to understand the data. So, for example, this is our customers' data, right? And now we have the sales data, quantity, discount, and the rest. Okay. Now, if we look at this data, there are some of the data that are similar that we can group them together. Is that not true?
Yeah.
We can link them together because, for example, order ID, order date, ship date. Okay, let's leave this one. Can they go together? Can these two go together?
Order ID and order date.
Can they go together?
Yes, they can go.
They can go together. Okay, let's do the one that we can easily see. Customer ID, customer name, segment. Can they go together?
Yes, they can go.
They can go together, isn't it?
Yes.
So it means that if they are going together, they can go together as what? What will we call this one?
I think
what do we call this one? This should be what? A customer table.
Yeah.
This customer table. Okay. Now let's look at another one again. We have country, city, state, postal code, region. What can we call it?
Country, city.
So region. Yes. What can we call this one?
I guess they can go together, but that should be region table. Country
this
table.
Is region table, or you can call it location table.
Location.
So we have seen what now?
I've seen
so we have seen that we have customer. We can have customer table. Isn't it? We can have customer table. Okay. We can have what? Location or geography.
Location.
Or geography or location. Okay. Yes. Or sometimes depends. Some people can call it branches. All right. Which other one can we say again? Which one can we say again? Product ID, category, subcategory, product name. Can we group them together?
Yes.
Can we group them together?
Yes.
Yes, we can group them together. So what table can we call this one?
Maybe you can call product or product information.
Yes, we can call this one product table. This product table. And remember, in a database, right?
Yes.
We said when we are doing SQL, we said that every table must have what?
Have ID. Have role and code.
That is, yes. Which form is that? That is second normal form, isn't it? That every table must have what? A primary key. Is that not correct?
Yes.
Beautiful. Product ID, which primary key does it have? Product table, which key does it have? What is the primary key there?
Primary key. Yeah, this is the product ID.
Product ID.
No.
Product. We have product ID, category, subcategory, product name.
Yeah.
What is the primary key there?
It will be product ID because it uniquely identifies others.
All right, thank you. Let's go to another one. Location. We have country, city, state, postal code, region. What's the primary key there?
I think postal code should be the primary key.
Postal code should be the primary key. Thank you very much. Now, let me ask. Now, we have, do you know that in a state, in a city, some parts can be sharing the same postal code?
Yes.
Is it possible? In a big city, there can be two different areas, but they are sharing the same postal code. Is that possible?
I have not seen such a scenario anyway, so I will not deny.
Okay, you have not seen it, okay. But in reality, that is how it exists. Okay, so in that case, even when you are saying postal code is the primary key, it may not be unique.
Yeah.
So because of that, postal code alone cannot uniquely identify it. So rather, what you do, you now need to combine to make it unique. So that is what they call what in SQL. What do we call it?
Yeah, updating table.
No, we called it what? Composite key.
Composite key, rather.
Composite key. Which means that we can combine two columns to now make it a unique identifier. Now, if you don't take this into consideration, that's your modeling that you are doing, those DAX you are writing, will always be giving you error because of this. So sometimes the problem that you are seeing when you are dragging and dropping those visuals is not because the data is not correct, it's because your model was not correct. So that is the essence of what? Understanding what data model. Are you clear with that?
Yeah, so now in this group now for city and the postal code, so possibly because there are places that you see.
There are some cities that share the same postal code.
Yeah.
Different cities sharing the same postal code. In that case, it's not unique.
Yes.
So to now make it unique, what can we do? We now join the city and what postal code. Do you understand that?
Yeah.
That will now make it what is unique. Another thing again here, even in our, what they call it now? Category, even our product ID, even sometimes product ID cannot be unique. You know why? Because sometimes the subcategories can be different but sharing the same product ID. You see that? So because of that, the product name, the product ID on its own may not be unique. So what you can do, you can now merge product ID and the product name to now make it unique. Because of the subcategories already.
Okay.
Do you get that? So on their own, normally, yes, product ID should be ordinary. But you see some situations where because of the plenty categories, they may have different names, but they are all under the same product ID. Do you get that? So because of that, it may no longer be unique because I can drag one name and it doesn't know which one you're picking. So because of that, what you can do, you can merge your product ID and product name together. together, it now makes it what unique. It is only when we are dealing with customer ID, isn't it?
Yes.
That most time it is unique because this is one particular person. But when it comes to product, name, city, that we human beings generate like that, okay, sometimes it can be a little bit more complex. That's why you need to use composite key. But for things like customer ID, student ID, those ones should be what? Unique.
Unique. Yeah.
But if they are not unique, for example, two people carrying the same name, right, and even the same what? Number. So what you can do, you can merge the number and the name together. Then that case, the name becomes different. Okay, so that is why when you are dealing with data normalization, the second normal form says that it must be the first form, which means every record must be unique, and every table must have what? Their what? A primary what? Key. Did you remember that?
Yes.
Good. And third normal form is saying that what? It should be in what? Second normal form, and there should be no what they call it, transitive or dependency. That means in that table, no two columns should be having what? Relationship. Instead, what you need to take it separately. Okay, so it means I need to break that table to the smallest possible best. That, and you know the reason for doing that? So that I don't go and start updating plenty places. Once I update it in one, that's all. It will apply to every other place. It's more efficient that way. So that is the essence of what our data normalization within SQL. Okay?
Yeah.
And it is your understanding of that, your SQL, how the data relates, that helps you to build your what? Data model. Because if you don't know which is the primary key that makes it unique, you cannot what? Link the tables together. You cannot build your relationship together. That's what we call your star what? Schema. So do you understand what we want to do now?
Yes, I understand.
Yeah, so it's about first of all identifying, okay, now I want to break them into smaller tables. And these smaller tables, I must ensure that what? It is unique. Okay, so we have seen customer table, we have seen geography table, we have seen product table. Okay, now let's look at the next one. We have seen, let's look at another one again. Can we group sales? Can we group sales, quantity, discount, profit? Can we group them together?
Yes, we can group them.
So if you group them together as a separate table, now what will not be the primary key there?
No. Which means we can. We cannot. We cannot group them. You cannot group them.
So what will be the primary key in that case?
We cannot group them together.
You see that? So that is why all these other ones here, for example, your order ID.
Yeah.
So for example, this is your order ID, order date, ship mode. We can all group all of them together as one. And we can call that what? Order table. We can call it what? Order table. So it is your understanding of what you want to achieve that will help you know how you are going to structure it. So at the end, if I look at this one, so which one is my fact table, which is my dimension table?
I think customer table should be the fact table. I mean, other. It's either customer or other table.
In the other table, we have sales, quantity, discount, profit. Isn't it? Why customer table, we have what? Customer ID, customer name, segment. So which one is fact table, which is dimension?
Customer table, the fact table.
Customer table is what?
The fact table.
So can you repeat the question again?
I'm asking from customer table, geography table, product table, others table. Which of them is a dimension table and which is a fact table? Which is a dimension table and which is a fact table?
I think customer table is the fact table because it has the primary key, which is the customer ID, where all the other tables are being linked on.
Okay, Shane, what about you?
I did not get the question, sir. What's the question, sir?
My question is that customer table, location table, product table, orders table. Which one is the dimension table and which one is the fact table?
Customer table is the fact table, and other table is the dimension table.
All right. So now let me ask you that question now. When we want to build our schema, our star schema, right? What kind of relationship are we looking for between the fact table and dimension table?
They're looking at a one to many. From the
One
fact
to
table
what?
is many.
Now let me ask, which one is one? Which one will be many?
Fact table should be many. No,
Fact table should be many.
and
Why
then
this one should be one?
One.
Do you agree with that?
Abi? One, two.
Fact table should be one, while dimension table should
There
be
should be many.
Eh?
I say fact table should be one, while dimension table should be many.
Like this.
One to many.
One to many. Okay. Now let's go back. What is the fact table? What's the fact table?
It is a table onto which other tables are extracted from. It connects, it has so many, it has so much, it holds the key information.
But meanwhile, you said it was one.
And
you described it as many just now.
oh, okay.
You see that?
Yeah.
You are mixing it up.
Hmm.
Remember, this your fact table is also your transaction table.
Yes.
Transaction, is it one or many?
Yes.
Transaction, is it one or many?
It's many.
See, I don't look at it from a theoretical aspect. Look at it in the organization. Whenever I have a transaction, is it just one transaction I can have?
No, it's many transactions.
I can have 10 customers, isn't it? But that 10 customers can buy from me 1,000 times in a year. Is that not possible?
Yes.
But the customers are still 10 because there are only 10 unique customers.
Hmm.
In that case, is that a dimension table or a fact table?
It's a fact table.
So that is why your customer is a what?
Customer is
Customer is what? Is it fact or dimension?
customer table should be fact table.
Hey, wonderful.
Customer.
I think what has happened is that it shows that we are not reading the fundamental aspect of it. Because I know most time what we are looking for, we are just going straight to the practical. Or let me just know how to do it. But you see, it is not about understanding how to do it. It's understanding why you are doing it. Okay.
I'm possibly
now
mixing this up.
Yes, you are mixing them up. See, if you don't think about it, you will get it straight. But the moment you start thinking too much about it, you start missing it. Okay, just understanding like this. Customer table, right? You can have 10 customers buy from you. You want a table to what? Capture those your 10 customers, isn't it? So that means in that customer table, you will just only have row 1 to 10. Is that not just 10 customers? Is there anyone that is repeated there? Is there anyone that is repeated there? Yeah? Is there anyone that is repeated there?
No.
So that means it's going to only appear once. It's unique, only one unique customer.
Customer. Yes, yes.
Just once. It's going to happen once.
Mm.
But that one customer can buy from you 100 times a year. Is that not possible?
Yes. Yes.
That now becomes what? The many.
Mm.
So where you have that many is where it's called your what? Your fact table.
Fact table. Mm.
Or your what? Or you
Your
can call it your
transaction
transaction table.
Transaction.
Or your transaction table, if you remember it like that. So anyone that can appear many times is the fact. The one that can appear only once, uniquely, only once, it is what? The dimension table. Because I'm trying to understand the sales by certain dimension. Which dimension? By my customer. How am I selling? I want to understand how I'm selling by what? My customer. I want to understand how I am selling by my what? Location. I want to understand how I'm selling by my what? Product. So that's why it's called what? Dimension. But that your sales table itself is your what? Transaction table or fact table. So the transactions can happen what? Many times. So that is why whenever we are linking them up, we want it such a way is what? One to many. This one is what? Your dimension, and this is what the fact many times. Did you get this one?
Yeah.
Clear?
Yeah.
Because the moment you don't understand this thing, whatever data model you are going to be doing, just giving you errors. So that's why you must be clear at the back of your mind. What is my dimension? So the moment you see a table, just ask yourself, which is dimension, which is what? Fact.
Fact.
Fact table is the one that is very big. The fact table is the biggest one.
Yes.
Isn't it? Just know that it's the biggest one. That is why it's the many.
Yeah.
Then why that those dimensions should be unique, because we cannot have two customers repeated in one customer table.
Yeah.
Because it's the same customer, that is the one. So that's why it's called dimension or what your lookup or table. Are you clear?
Yeah. Sometimes when you drag it, it just suggests for you.
Yes, it suggests for you, but you have to be sure. That's one thing there. You need to understand it. If you drag and drop a Power BI, it will give you results. Oh. Do you get? But don't go and embarrass yourself. Do you get? If you drop, do find dashboard, that's all. But the thing is wrong because you are picking the wrong word values. So that's why it is important to do your what? Data modeling correctly. All we have been showing you just how to visualize it, but there's more to the visualization. That's why I told you the visualization is the easiest part. The next part is what? Building your what? Model. The data model. Very important. Okay. So remember that what links your dimension table to your, what do you think that links your dimension table to your fact table? What links them together? Your dimension table to your fact table. What do you think links them together?
Primary key.
Primary key.
It's your what?
Primary key.
Primary key.
Okay, primary key. Well, you can be right and wrong, but most times it is the foreign key that helps you link them together.
Yeah, foreign key, yes.
Is it not? It is the foreign key.
It could be foreign, it could be primary key in another table, but
exactly, the primary key in another table is a foreign key, correct? So that is why it is important we first of all be able to identify the primary key. And when we see that that particular primary key is no longer unique, what do we now do?
Make a composite key.
You use a composite word key to get you what? A unique primary key. You see that word unique? When I now combine those two now, it is now what? Different. Okay? Are we clear with that?
Yeah.
Now, all this is I'll be saying story now, isn't it? So now I want to what? Implement it now.
Yeah.
So watch how we are going to implement it. Okay, so I can rub off this, Abi. I can rub this off.
Yes, it's already recorded, so we can go.
You can go back to it. Hey, and the other people are not around. so that they can ask questions. Because this part is one of the tricky parts.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. Yeah.
But it's not
It's
that it's
very,
tricky.
very, to
Yeah,
me,
it's not that it's tricky per se, but it's just for you to understand what you are trying
understand.
to achieve.
Yeah.
Yes.
Because the one I understand is the table is not brought one as table. It's
Yes, it's not
tables.
brought one exactly.
So is that this one is already merged. So now we
It
are
is
the one to
very
break
once
it.
it's merged like this, it's very easy to just do that and drop. But most times it doesn't come that way.
Yeah, so I understand the one that comes separately, but this one now is what is giving me issues to understand.
So what I want to do, I want to break it from this one to the one that is meant.
Okay.
That's what we are going to now.
It's interesting.
Yeah.
Yeah, most of the things you are saying them here now, most of the things I have not touched. Some, very many of them.
Yes, that's fine. All right, so let's start. So I want to get 4 tables. What are the 4 tables? Customer table,
customer, region,
geography table, product table, and what others table.
others
Is it?
table.
So what I'm going to do, I'm going to duplicate them. So I'll right click and say duplicate. Duplicate.
It will keep the original.
Yes, the original one is still there. Duplicate. Okay. So what we can do now, I want to get customer table, isn't it? Customer table. Where is my customer table? What columns are in my customer table?
Should be others table.
Customer ID, customer name, and what segment? Is that not it?
Yes.
So now I want to remove what columns. So how do I remove columns? I'll come here. If I let me come, choose columns. Can you see choose columns?
Yes.
Choose columns. I will deselect all. I want only 3. What are the 3 I want? Customer ID, customer name, and segment. That's all. Can you see that?
Yeah, we'll rename it.
Yes, but now, can they be repeated? Can this name be repeated? In my customer table. Can I have repetition?
Yes.
Yeah, yes, I think customer ID. Okay, maybe.
Let's go back again. Let's go back again. Remember your fact table and dimension table. We are looking for one to many.
Yeah.
This is dimension. This is fact. On my fact table, it can appear many times. But in my dimension table, how many times can it appear?
Just once.
Once. So can there be any repetition here?
No.
No. So what am I going to do? We are going to remove all what? Duplicates. Did you get that?
Yes, we remove duplicate.
So we'll just come here, say remove duplicates. That's all. So now it's what? Unique. This is now what? 1. This is what they call 1. Can you see that? It is what? Unique. No one customer appears many times.
Yeah.
The table that the customer appears many times is only in your what? Fact what? Table. But here it's going to appear just what? Once. Are you clear?
Yes.
So I will now call this one now. What will I call it now? Customer table. Are we okay with this?
Yes.
All right, let's go to the next one. So let's take geography table. Say geography table now. So under my geography table, what do I want to see there?
One city, location, country code.
I want to see country, city, state, postal code, region. Isn't it?
Yes.
So what do? I come here, choose columns.
Yeah, you deselect.
Deselect them. So I will now select now, right? So yes. I want what? Country, yes. City, state, postal code, region. Any other thing? No. Yeah, so click OK. Isn't it? Click OK.
Yes.
Now, take notes. What is the primary? So in our customer table, are we clear about the primary key?
Yes, the customer ID after removing duplicates.
Exactly. In your geography table, what is the primary key here?
I think there is no primary key, so we can make a composite key from the postal code combined with
Generally, you would have used postal code.
postal
Is
code.
it
And yes,
generally? But sometimes that postal code may not be unique
unique.
because because if the city is so large, one postal code, two cities can be sharing the same postal code. So in that case, in order for you to be safe, what do you now do?
We create a composite key.
I will create a composite. So how do I do that? I will take city. I will take postal code, isn't it?
Yes.
I will right click and say what? Merge. So how do I want to separate them?
Maybe by hyphen or like dash.
Or I can just leave it, okay, or space, or let me use this space. So I'll call here what? Geography key.
Column.
No, the column name is geography key. Do you understand?
Yes.
So I'll have merge. Can you see that? I now have geography what? Key. So I've merged those two together now. So which one is my primary key now?
The geography key becomes the primary
geography key. Can I have duplicates in this table?
No, in this case,
yes,
there might not be.
They should not be, isn't it? So what do I now do? What do I now do?
Deselect duplicate.
Remove duplicates.
Sorry. That is make duplicate. So look at remove duplicate. Now is what?
Sir?
Yes.
What if we decide to extract maybe first three initials and then introduce a dash between?
Okay, you can also do that. Beautiful. You can create your own based on that. Yes, that's also fine. But it's just that so that you don't have any issues with maybe some that are looking somehow similar. And when you're abstracting them, it's just by chance that they are carrying the same characters.
Okay.
Do you understand that?
Yes.
So for you to be safe, you just better do it like this.
Okay.
All right. So are we clear with this? What is this one? What do we call this one?
Geography or location table.
So let's call this geography. Geography table. All right. Are we clear with this?
Yes.
You know what we are doing here? This is what? What do we call this one?
The name of the table or
what we are doing, this process we are doing is called what?
Normalization.
Normalization, beautiful. Which form are we dealing with now? Which of the form? You know, you have first normal form, second normal form, third normal form.
I think it should be first normal form.
First normal form says that what? Every record must be what? Unique, isn't it? You cannot have two distinct match in one, rather what? To separate them.
Separate them.
But even when you separate them, you should also have what? A primary key, which now leads to what? Second normal form. Then if there's any dependencies, if there are any dependencies that are clear, then we can also separate them out. Okay, that's now third normal form. But what basically we are doing is what? Data normalization. Clear?
Yes.
So you now see how SQL is now linked with Power BI. So knowledge of SQL that will now help you with this one. Okay. All right, let's look at the next one. The next one is what? Product table. So let's look at product table. So which are the columns within the product table? Product table.
Product ID.
Product ID.
Product
category,
name.
Subcategory, product name. Okay, those ones. All right, so let's go. Choose columns. Right, so choose columns. Where are they? Product ID, product category, subcategory, product name. Okay. What is the primary key here?
I think product ID, obviously.
Product ID is clear, isn't it?
Yeah.
But sometimes you have to also be very careful. Sometimes because they have so many subcategories, you may have a situation where they are bearing the same product ID. So whenever that happens, then I'm just trying to check. Then you are going to now notice that this your primary, your product key, your product ID is no longer what? Unique.
Primary key.
It's no longer the primary key. So I'm just trying to check whether we are going to see. Now look at this. Can you see furniture bookcase? Can you see the other key?
Yes.
Can you also see furniture bookcase? They are both in the same group.
Yes.
But different name.
Different ID.
Can you see that?
Yeah.
With a different name completely.
Yes.
Does that make it unique? Normally, if it has the same, if they are all the same, you should be having the same name, the same ID number. Okay, so with this one, that is why with this one, sometimes you also have to be very careful. So you don't just jump in. So sometimes, even when you tell yourself, yes, so I know that this is supposed to be primary key, but for me to be safe, let me just merge it with the name. You understand that? So that in case any problem is coming anywhere, it now makes them what? Unique. Are you clear with that? So in that case, what we are going to do, we are not going to merge product ID. I'll just hold my control button down, click my product name. The one I click first, that is the one that you hold first.
Okay.
Okay. I said the one I click first. If I click product name and I click product ID, means you take product name and join product ID to it. So it means product name will come first. But if I click product ID first, it means product ID will come first, followed by product name. So it is the one that you click first that will determine which one will stay first.
Yeah.
Do you understand that?
Yes.
So whichever way, but be consistent. So product ID, product name. What do I do next?
You merge.
I will right click and say merge columns. So I want to separate them by what? A space. Then I'll call this one what? Product key. Now, what is my primary key?
Product key.
Okay, so product what? Key. So in that case, since I know that it is product key, so what do I now do? What can I do now?
Deselect to remove duplicate.
Duplicate. So I'll just right click and say remove duplicate. So now this one now makes it what? Unique. Can you see that? It now makes it what? Unique. Are you clear with that? So this is called what? Product what?
Table.
Now, sometimes when you see all those plenty tables now, that will now come and now say you are linking them. This is how they now break them down. Rather than having one big Excel file. And remember again, all these things are coming from different databases. That is when you are now going to do that your joints. That is where it's applied though.
Maybe if I am to query this kind of this, I would also use union instead of union or.
Yeah, so you are using join. So that is the join, inner join. All right, but the only time inner join will work is only if it is what unique. Do you understand? It is only when it is what unique, because if it's not unique, it may omit some because it's not unique. Okay, so that is the role of what the database manager to avoid all these type of problems. Okay, now let's go to the next one. This is others table. So others table, what are we going to have in others table? So choose columns, deselect all. So I need other ID, other date, ship date,
ship mode.
Then I need sales,
product,
quantity, discount,
and profit.
But remember that customer table must be linked with this one, isn't it?
Yes.
So what is going to link both of them?
I think customer ID should have been.
Customer ID, that one is clear. In my geography table, what is going to link with this one?
In geography key. We made geography key, something like that.
How do we come with geography key?
We merged the table between geography keys and the code.
Postal code and what? City.
And the city.
Is it not?
Yes.
Products table, what did we do?
That table, we created product name with the product
Product
ID.
ID with what? Product what?
name.
Did you get that?
So the only thing not picked here is the state and
Yes. So now what we have done before, let's do it again. So if I come to my what now? Geography. What did I pick first? I picked the city, is it not? Followed by what? The postal code. So let's come here. I will pick the city first, followed by what? The postal code. Then I will merge.
To form the primary key.
So how did I space it? I use what? Space, is it not? So what do I call it? What do I call this one?
It should be our
geography. Is that not geography key?
Geography key, yeah.
Then the other one, I now took product ID. So let's look at product. What do we use? We use product ID followed by product name. All right. Product ID followed by what? The product name. I will right click and say merge columns. So let's use the space there. And what do we call this one? Product what? Key. Can there be duplicates here?
I think we remove duplicate. So
can there be duplicates here? In this table, can we have duplicates here? Can we have duplicates here?
Yes, we can.
Why? Why do you say we can? Why do you say we can have duplicates here?
For the other table.
Yes, because this is where you have all your sales transactions now.
Yes.
Isn't it? So we want to know how many customers bought, where did they buy, which product are they buying. So that is why your customer table, geography table, and what product table are called your what? Fact, your what? Dimension table. Why your other table is called what? Your fact table. That is why you see some people, what they can do, in order not to confuse themselves, what they now do, they call it div. Have you seen it like this? Where they write div. You know what div is?
No.
What does div mean? This
No,
div, what does it mean here?
No, I don't know. It's dimension.
Dimension, exactly. Why this one, they will call it what? Fact. Which means, which of them is one and which one is many?
Others is many. Div.
This is one. Many. Why all these ones is what? One. So the transaction can happen many times here, but here it can only happen what? Once. Did you get that?
Yeah.
So what we have done, you see that we have got one big flat file and we have now broken them into what? Several. This is we have normalized what? Data. So now let us close and what? Apply.
Yeah.
Is there any other thing that we need to clean?
No.
Is there any other thing we need to clean?
I think it's okay.
No, everything is okay. All right, close and apply. So as data analyst, now this is now your role. After you have picked data from different sources, your job is now to what? See how you can what? Bring them what together. All right, so we have brought the tables together. Can you see my Power BI screen now?
Yes.
Yes, sir.
So what we need to do now, we don't just jump to start dragging and dropping. We come here to what? The data model. To now check, does it connect them together?
It only suggests.
Did it automatically connect them together?
Yes.
Yes, it shows.
You know why it's showing like this? Because we have done it correctly. So this is called what?
Model.
This is called your data model. What is it called again?
Data model.
Yes, data model. What again do we call it?
Normalization or what?
It is called your what? Your star schema.
Schema. Okay.
Your star. So remember when we were doing SQL now, when we now showed you those things, how you have fact model, link with branch, with link with time, and the rest. This is how it's done. Can you see 1 star, 1 star, 1 star? Have you seen that?
Yes.
What does that tell you?
One to many.
1 to what? Many, correct. So how do you know that this is correct? How will you know that it's correct? So if I come to my product table, I want to connect, I want to read it by the sales. Is it not? So sales is under what? Other table. Is it not? So I'll carry my sales and drop it here. Did you see this?
Yeah.
Did you read it correctly?
Yes.
Did you read it correctly? Yes.
Yes.
But the moment you realize that is repeating the same file, it will just give you this number all through. Have you seen a situation like that? When you drag it, instead of it to give me different values, it will take this number and repeat it all through. So let me show you what that one means. Let me take, for example, let me take customer segments. Okay. Let me come to product table. Let me add product category here. Okay. Now let me take sales and add sales to it. Let me add. Do you see? I've picked from different tables. So I picked from this table. I picked from this table. Now let me pick from this table. Let me pick profits. Did it give me different values?
Yes, it gives different.
So the moment it
Instant.
gives you different values, it means that it is picking it what correctly. But the moment you see that you just have one value repeated all through, then you know that there's a problem. So you also have to be very careful to understand it, because remember when we started by saying that as data scientist or data analyst, your domain knowledge is very important. Your experience also comes into play. Because you have been working in that particular organization for a period of time, you can tell if this thing will make sense or not. This number, whether it makes sense or not. Even that you are dragging and dropping and it's giving you visuals doesn't always make it what correct. So you also have to be very what careful. Do you understand that?
Yes.
Yes. Okay. So with this one, we can easily what drag and drop and it's giving us what values. Then we can go home and do Thanksgiving. But you see this data model, you can sweat for a month to connect it like this. Because one little thing, one little error, even if it's a comma or a space, is not going to link them together, and that can be a big problem. So that is why it takes you time to what? Clean and transform your data. Okay? So most times the analysis of itself will not take so much time. It is you what transforming and cleaning the data and modeling the data that actually takes you time. Okay, are we clear with this now?
Yeah, very clear.
So you understand how to build a data model now?
Yeah.
Isn't it?
Yes.
All right. If in case you have made any error, you just go back to your, where's your source file now? Recent sources. Let's say transform data. So you go to your transform data.
I don't know how I can update my Power BI. That one is like, this one is more advanced.
No, I showed you guys how to do it, and there are two ways now. Either you go to Microsoft Store. Microsoft Store, once you install it from there, you automatically update it. Or you go to the Microsoft Power BI website and download it. But every month when there's an update, you have to download it and install it by yourself. Okay, so if you have downloaded the last one, then like me, I don't know how long I've updated, when last I updated my own. About. So look at my version. My version is June. Which version is your own? We have June, July, August. So there should be August and there should be September. So maybe the last one should be August. So you check. Okay. So if there's any error you have made, you can easily come back here, then check where the problem is coming from. So this is about data modeling. So are we clear with this data modeling now?
Yeah, I guess this is concise.
Yeah. Yes.
Yes, it's concise. It's nice.
Okay, so let me close and apply. Close and apply. So it is when you can do this data modeling and tasks. That is when you can now say, I know Power BI. Dragging and dropping the visual doesn't mean that you know Power BI. It is the data modeling, how you clean the data, transform the data, and model the data. Then create your DAX, your measures. That is when you say, I know Power BI. Okay, so let's make progress. There's another data set where, so let me bring another data set. So I can close this. Let me close this. Let me save. Let me call this one data model. Please, what we have done today, make sure you practice this thing that we did today. Because when you do it by yourself, it now makes more sense to you. So whenever you see data, you ask yourself, which is the dimension table and which is what? The fact what? Table. Then when you look at the dimension table, you now ask yourself, what is the what? Primary what key that makes this one what? Unique. Okay. Let me see. There's another file I wanted to import. So let me open that. So there was another file, I think it was sales data. I don't know whether that was a CSV file, sales data. Okay, maybe it was an Excel file. So this is sales. Yes, sales data. So can you see that you have plenty? Can you see my screen? Can you see my screen?
No, sir.
You're not seeing my screen.
Yes. Only see the Zoom picture.
Can you see my screen?
Yes, we can see it now.
All right. Now, can you see that when we are opening this Power BI like this, can we see we have different things? Can you see here we have something like this? You can see this symbol, and we can also see something like this. What are the differences between this, and between this?
I think the first 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 indicates a Excel table.
The Excel table, beautiful. Why this one indicates what?
The other one.
These are Excel sheet. These are Excel sheet.
Yes. Okay. Yeah.
You see this one? Why this one means like they are, what they call it? Range name. When you range name it, you know how you range name?
Yes. We go to
Excel. So this is range
yeah.
name. This is Excel sheet, and this is what? Table. Best practice, which one should you do?
Should be table.
Table. Why should you always use a table?
Because I think it's, what should I say, is a relational word or something.
Because it helps you update the table automatically. Anything you just, maybe you just finish. Once you add the new record there, automatically it just creates the table automatically. So because it will automatically rename your whole table for you. Okay, so that is why always use your word tables. Always use your word tables. Can you see that? So I've picked them. They are all the same thing though, but pick the one that use word tables. All right, next thing will be what? Transform what? Data. So let's transform our data. I'm sure you cannot see my Can you see my Power Query screen now?
No.
Power Query editor. Can you see it now?
Yes, you can see it now. The M.
All right. So let's look at it now. Products, sales channel, sales data, sales product, sales promotion, sales state. Beautiful. Now, do you understand this one now?
Yes, this one I understand well.
You understand this one now, but you can understand the process here, right?
Yeah, to get to it's not that I got.
It's now you understand it. Exactly.
Because the one I worked on Monday was like in this form.
It was in this form. You know, this one is already easy for you.
Yeah.
The hard part is when you are going to take a full table and break it down like this.
Down, yes.
Okay. All right. So is there anything that we need to clean here? Is there anything? Does data look clean enough? Is there anything we need to do here?
No,
what can we do?
And we can actually rename the FCT.
Yes, to what?
Federal Capital Territory.
So we come here and say replace values. FCT, call it what? Federal Capital Territory. The same thing, I'll do it for what? Abuja. Replace values, replace with Federal Capital Territory. Then here, FCT, the same thing. Federal Capital Territory. All right.
And this should have a find and replace too.
Yeah. Yes, now this is normal cleaning now. Yes, this is normal cleaning. Okay. And remember, this thing must be a text. If it was in a number, you cannot do find and replace for numbers. Okay. So this is what? State ID. State ID, if you want to leave it as this, that's fine. But otherwise, you leave it as what? A text. That's to just tell you that everything here is what?
Okay.
What table is this? State table. Is it a dimension table or a fact table?
We have to know the nature of the data. What the data is talking about.
This table like this, as you are seeing this table like this, is it a dimension table or a fact table?
This should be a dimension.
Why do you say it's a dimension?
Because it does not hold detailed information. Yeah.
Yes, this one is the only one that has what's unique. So this is your one, is it not?
Yes.
This is your one. So anyone that just has one that is unique, isn't it that there's no repetition?
Yeah.
It is called what? A dimension table. Because if I start giving you definitions of what dimension table is, and it gets confusing. You get? So just understand, the moment you see, okay, this one is only unique, it's only one, this is the one, that is my dimension. The one that can have many, plenty, that is my what? Fact table. So can you see promotion? This promotion table, is it a dimension or product or facts?
It's a dimension table.
It is a dimension. Sales product. Dimension or facts?
Should be dimension.
Dimension. Sales data. Dimension or facts?
This other ID, other unit code, price, other. This should be facts.
This is what? Facts.
Facts. Product category.
What links a fact table with a dimension table? What links the fact table with the dimension table?
Should be a foreign key.
The foreign what key? Can you not see that I have a what they call it now?
Product.
Which one do we see? Promotion. Can you see promotion key here? That is what I have here. Can you not see it here? It can only appear once. Okay, so this fact table. Sales channel. Then product subcategory. So we are good to go. So maybe I can just switch this one to, let's say, text. Let's switch this to text. Although if you leave it, but the only thing that when you now take it to Power BI,
giving you
so let's take it as text. Yeah, it may now start summing them up for you. This one, other ID. Where do I have other ID? Do I have other ID somewhere? Do I have other ID somewhere? Do I have other ID? Those other ID. Unless this one is just like this thing. Okay, 1, 2. It's like serial number. You get? It's like serial number. They just serially arrange it. Can you see from 1 to whatever? To 7,000. Okay. Let's continue. That is other ID. So other dates. Unit cost. Unit price. Isn't it? Always check that your date is what? Date format. Always check that. Otherwise, you have problem. Price, goods, quantity, cost of sales.
Sometimes you just click to transform and click on detect data type,
Yes.
and it does it itself.
Yes. Okay. Let's see. Is there anything we need to do again? All right. So let's close and apply. Close and apply. So the moment you close and apply, you see it will be loading your model for you, isn't it?
Yeah.
Okay. Once it has loaded, what is the first thing I go and check? Once I've loaded my data like this, what is the next thing I will go and check?
If it is properly connected.
Connections.
Yes, I'll go and check my what model. Is it properly connected?
No, this one is not connected.
It's not connected.
Some
Some
connected.
not connected. Exactly. So what am I going to do? I want to arrange it in what?
And the model to drag drop.
Yes, I want to arrange my what? What do we call it?
Schema.
Your schema. Which schema?
Star schema.
That what schema? Now this is where the enemies can be at work. Okay, the moment your data, something is missing there, hey, you will sweat to see where the problem is coming from. Okay, so anyone that I sees automatically, that means to say no problem. I know who you are talking to. But the moment you are now saying, okay, I cannot connect them. So what do you now do? To connect it, what do you do? I will drag product subcategory key to where? Product subcategory key. Has it connected now?
Yes.
Yes.
I will take channel key to where? Channel key. Has it connected?
Yes.
Yeah.
I will take which other one now? You have state ID. So I'll take state ID to what? State ID. Did it connect?
Yeah.
Yes.
So has it connected fully now?
Yes.
So this is called your what?
Star schema.
Your star schema. So when I go back, I want to understand my sales, is it not? By this dimension. So for example, if I take sales channel, I will take channel name, isn't it?
Yes.
I will take channel name. Can you see channel name? I can now come here to sales data and take, for example, what will I take? Let's say I take order quantity. Can you see that? Did it work here?
Yes, it worked. Total.
Now let me now show you. If I now come, what did I put now? This is what? Channel name, isn't it? So let's go to channel. Where's our channel here? So this is our channel. Imagine I delete this relationship here. So are they connected?
No.
No. So let's go back. What did you notice now?
They are the same.
They are the same thing. Can you see that if you drag and drop, is that not values there?
There are values.
Is that the correct thing?
No.
So the moment you see a problem like this, where's your mind going to?
Go to check your connections.
Go to your what? Data model. Check your connection. That's it. So whenever you have this problem and you still repeat it, just know that the problem is coming from here. It's not connecting something. So you have to go and clean it till he sees the correct thing. And please drag it to the correct thing that you want to link it to before you go and link it to something else. So once I drag it like this, I will now come and check. Did it work?
Yes.
It works. Another situation you may also see that apart from that, whenever, for example, I'm sure some will give you that problem. Let me see. Let me take this. Let me take unit costs. Now, sometimes when you also do this, you will now notice that one will be blank. One of them will be blank. But it will see other ones, but one will be blank. That means you see empty spaces. Just know that it is from your model that is coming from. There's something that is not seen there. Either the spelling, maybe audio space. That space alone, you just leave it blank because you cannot see it. So that's why you need to go and trim your data. Because it's also case sensitive. You have to go and trim them, remove all those spaces there. Then you can now visualize it. So can you see where data modeling is very important? It is not just enough to say I can drag and drop. That is the list of your problem.
Yeah.
So you can now do your reports. So when you see all these dimensions now, so for example, all these dimensions now. So for example, let's take this is product subcategory, right? Product subcategory. So let's take product subcategory, product category. So I want to analyze it by what now? So I go to my sales data, isn't it? So I can go to cost of sales. Can you see that? Then I can come again, product subcategory. Yes, I can come here to let's say, what do we have again? Order quantity. Can you see that? Why I like doing it like this so that I can see if there are any blank spaces there. Because the moment there's a blank space, then you know that's not connected fully. What again? This is what the key. So I want to analyze everything by these two. So again, I can come here to product subcategory. Again, I can also drag subcategory here again. What is it going to do for me? I can now switch here to what? Count. Is it not? I can now switch it to what? A count. Right?
Yeah.
Again, I can come here to subcategory by price. Is it not? By price. But I cannot be taking the total price. So what kind of price will I use? The average price. Can you see that? I will now take the average price. So let's know the average price we sell. Even my other quantity, we can also take the sum. Okay. What again? Category by what again? Price, product key, unit cost. Unit cost. So I can also take the average cost. Clear? So you see, this report I'm dealing with is what? Product what? I'll call it product what? Category what? Report. Can you see that?
Yeah.
So by the time I do the next one, the next one, next one, next one. So this is going to be what? Channel report. Sales channel report. Can you see that? The next one, I'll call it what now? Product, sales product report. Sales product report. The next one, sales promotion report. It depends on if that's what I want. Then this is what? Sales what? State what? Report. Can you see that? Then the one that I will now pick the key insights from here, from here, from here, from here, from here. What do I now call it? What do I call it? A
The one that you want
dashboard.
to.
I will now pick the key insights from each of these reports. to now have one page summary of it. Now
That's
called
dashboard. That's dashboard.
dashboard. So can you see the difference between a dashboard and a report?
Yes.
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 Yes, sir.
Yes.
About the dashboard, is it that I'm going to pick a specific report?
No,
from
now so it's the
each
key things,
slide?
as in the key insights that you can get from each of them.
Okay, from each of them.
Instead of somebody going through all this one, this report, this report, this report, this report, just on one page now, you have summarized all these reports in one page. That's the dashboard. Do you understand?
Can you do an example, sir?
Okay, look at this now. So this is what we are doing, is it not? So let's do the visual of this.
Yes.
So let's quickly do this, okay? So here I want to insert my text box. Okay, let's take that. So which report is this one?
Product category.
This is product. This is product. Product category reports. Product category reports. Okay, so let me take that. Yes, so let me pick. No. All right, so that's the report we are picking. Product category reports. Then let me quickly get my logo. So let's say KPMG. So this is KPMG. Okay, so let's quickly. So this one we are trying to compare, isn't it? So most likely we are going to use. Sorry, let's take this out. Maybe I'll switch this to that. No, sorry, let me take this as this, then this one use it as this. Okay, this one I can use it as a pie chart. This one I can use it as a shoulder chart. There was one I did count. Which one was the one I did count? Okay, this one I did count. Okay, so this one I can use a, what do they call it? A tree map. So let me do a pie chart of this. Then which one is this one? Okay, here the prices. So let me also do the prices. Now, do you notice that the moment you have a table, do you notice there is a total automatically?
Yes.
You notice that? That is why we said in your table, never put your total. Is that what we said?
Yes.
Because when you are analyzing it, the total we already calculated for you. So why are you adding more things that will make it more redundant? Right? So let's take that so that we can easily see it. Then we quickly take that. So let's assume that this is the report that we have created. Okay, this is the report we have created. Now, of all these ones now, okay, so I've seen all these things. So let's assume that this is the most important one. Copy visual, isn't it? So I can come to my dashboard. I'll paste it here. Can you see that? I'll paste it here.
You copied, okay, you just copied one of it.
Yeah, I just copied, just say copy visual.
Okay.
I will now come and paste it here. Do you understand? So all by the time I pick from here, pick copy from here, copy from here, copy from here. That means I pick all the important things. All my important
Just
insights.
one important
Yeah,
visual.
so
Which
it can be
report.
one or two depending on the kind of insight you're trying to do.
Okay.
Then I'll now call it the dashboard. So anything that is happening here is automatically updating here.
Okay, sir.
They are all linked together. So can you see how fast we can create this now?
Yes.
So the same thing, you can now come here, come to your sales channel. So when you come to your sales channel reports, so I come here to sales channel. So this is channel what name, isn't it? Channel name. So I can also get my insights by what?
Channels.
By cost of sales, isn't it?
Yeah.
Come here again. Channel sales, channel name. If you want, you can just copy it and paste. You get copy, paste, so that you can have different ones. Okay, you can just have different ones. Okay. Sales. So we have cost of sales, we have quantity, yes, other quantity, we have what price, yes, we have what again, unit cost. So same thing, I can use my visual, I can use that, and also I can use that. Let me just use my, okay, I want to use a pie chart, so that's the pie chart there. Okay, so if this is the report I have decided to make, let me arrange that. Now you now see all these things. You see, by the time you have arranged everything, then if you now want to make it now more, the report look more fancy and creative, then that's when you now take time to start designing it. But the important is just get all the important things you need first, isn't it? Then all these other things can now follow. So I can just copy this one. I'll come here and paste. And you see that if I come here, paste, come here, paste. Can you see, come here, paste, come here, paste. Okay. Then maybe this is the most important one I want to show. Okay, so this is a sales channel. Okay, sales channel. So what do I want to explain in sales channel? By sales. Okay, let's say by sales. So I can take that one. Come and dump it here. Can you see that? So I've picked these two reports. Now, you know, they are now in one. So this is another report. So I copy this. So I come and paste this here. So what do I call this one now? This is what? Sales channel reports. Okay. So maybe, for example, I can now take, for example, so for example, if I take my sales channels here, I take my sales channels here, I take my sales channels here, and I'll do like a count. So 111, is it not? So rather, what do I now do? If I want to print it out, what do? I just use a card and just take my sales channel.
Sir, if you want to watch.
I say if I want to now maybe just report it as one, then I'll just use a card. So I can now do a count. So that means I have 4 sales channels. Do you understand that?
Yes, sir.
So the context in which I'm understanding. So how many sales channels do we have? Okay, we have this sales channel.
4.
So from all these sales channels, so from these 4 sales channels, most of them buy from what? Our highest cost of sale comes from what we store. That's where we spend more.
Yes.
Do you see that? So by the time we start, I will now teach you, when we get to start getting to DAX, I will now start teaching you the calculations. How you do those computation, profit by, so I cannot, you see here, we don't have profit, we don't have revenue.
Yes. No discount.
We don't have profit, we don't have revenue. We are not going to do those calculations. So those calculations we are doing is DAX. Do you understand that?
Yeah.
Yes, sir.
Okay, so again, at what point do we need measures? Or
At what
measures?
point do we need measures? Okay, so look at
Yeah.
it here. Where measures come.
Mm.
Where measures come. So if you look at this, let's look at this data. Let's look at this data. Let's go to sales data. Let's look at sales data. We have cost of sale.
Yes.
We have unit cost. We have price. We have quantity.
Yeah.
Okay. This on their own may not give you so much insight, but the only thing can tell us what is the highest, what's the minimum, what's the average on their own. Is it not?
Yes.
Now, can you tell me the profits? Which is the most profitable sales channel? Can you tell me based on this data?
No, until you sum it up.
Exactly. And for you to do that, you now need what? A measure. Do you get? So your measure, so what they are actually called calculations. But your calculations means I can do a calculated table. That means I can add another column here. And whenever I add another column, what is happening? My table is increasing.
Yeah.
If your table is increasing and the data size is about 10 billion, what do you think will happen when you are calculating? It takes more time, isn't it?
Yes.
But now, a measure is just virtual. It's not part of your table. So it is only when you drag it, when you call it up, that it starts calculating. So a measure is a smaller form of calculation, but it's more like virtual. It's just like when we are doing SQL, when we are creating a view. You have the table itself, isn't it? But you are not creating a view of that table. That is how that measure is. So it's like a virtual table. You can only visualize it, but you cannot see it on the table itself unless you call it up. So all those kind of measures is when you now start helping to now create your own unique insights. Here, all these our reports give us the general insight, based we can just see it at once. But if I want to now see unique insights, then I will now need to do a calculation of DAX. What we now call DAX, data analysis expression. That is the language we now use to create those measures. So that's by next. I hope by next week we'll be able to enter DAX.
Yes, sir.
Okay. So are we clear with data modeling now?
Yes, sir.
And we have seen the importance of data modeling.
Yeah.
It is only when you can do this data modeling, DAX, cleaning of data, then you can now call yourself a Power BI expert.
User.
User. You know, they also have deployment. So
yeah.
They still have deployment. But this is the most important one for you first.
Publishing.
Okay? Yes. So I hope by next week, so by the time we are done with this, I hope by next week we should now be integrating Python, SQL. I'll now show you how to now query SQL and Python and bring them into Power BI.
There is nothing that is easy here. You think this one is easy when you start going deep.
Yes. You know, like DAX, it will take you a lifetime. It's just like your Excel functions. There's no way you can learn all the Excel functions.
Yes.
That is the same way DAX is. You just learn some part that you can learn and leave the rest. But I'll now show you a trick of how to learn them. You don't need, like, for example, I don't need to remember all the codes, all the syntax. The only important thing you need to do, just understand how they work. That's all. Okay. Then I'll now show you how to get different DAX codes when you want to start working. All right, guys. I hope